Now we got a person shot. Alright guys, so yesterday I did a video about Walmart closing in Southside Chicago because there's too much theft and crime. They weren't profitable for 17 years, so they decided to give up. They say, you know what, we're moving our Walmart out of here. We're done with you people, we're leaving, okay? And the woke activists came out and they blamed Walmart. They said that Walmart was at fault for why people are stealing from them, right? And that Walmart should essentially just stay in existence. They should just stay there and lose money so that people can steal from them, right? Again, absolutely amazing video. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, definitely check it out. These people, these so-called community leaders, okay, in the black community, in these hoods, they're backwards, right? They're ass backwards, which is why we have so many problems in these inner liberal cities. And lo and behold, last night, we had a major problem in Chicago as teenagers, apparently hundreds, if not thousands of them, conducted a takeover of downtown Chicago that resulted in mass violence, car windows being broken, vandalism, people being beat up, people were shot. Okay, this was a mass flash takeover event by teenagers of downtown Chicago. And I want you guys to watch the news clip because even the news anchors, right? Even the media were scared to be in downtown, to be in the area. And you can clearly see it on their faces that, again, they're extremely concerned about even just doing their jobs in downtown Chicago. That is how bad that city has gotten. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the clip.
News off the top. Hundreds of teens flooding into downtown Chicago tonight, smashing car windows, trying to get into Millennium Park, prompting a major police response. Within the past few minutes, shots were fired near the corner of Madison and Michigan. Now, we had a news crew on the scene, but they had to move because of safety concerns. I was there a little bit earlier, about an hour and a half ago, and saw police escorting tourists and visitors to their cars in the Millennium Park parking garage. The crowd was trying to get into Millennium Park, but there are checkpoints that are not allowing anyone under the age of 21 who's not with an adult to get in. So they're massing across the street on the other side of Michigan Avenue. I spoke to a woman whose car was smashed by people jumping on the windshield. She says the crowd began beating her husband as he sat in the driver's seat. He's now been sent to Northwestern Memorial Hospital. I also talked to a woman, a Chicago native, who was appalled by what she saw.
What I see out here is completely ludicrous, to be honest with you. I'm a part of what I see. I'm from Chicago, and I understand kids having a good time, but this is simply bad parenting. We have to do better as parents. Our kids should not be out here. Where are their parents at? That's my question.
The situation continues to develop at this hour. As we mentioned, we have a reporter on the scene, but there are some security concerns. Fox 32's Nate Rogers is on Michigan Avenue in a protective position. Nate, can you tell us what you see right now?
Yeah, that's right, Dane. As you just mentioned, we're downtown on Michigan and Randolph. I'm actually probably a block away from a lot of where the chaos has originated. Right now, Chicago police are trying to clear Michigan Avenue, at least from Randolph until maybe 3 or 4 blocks south on Michigan. Very active scene indeed. Hundreds of officers working this investigation. There are reports, unconfirmed by Chicago police, of multiple people people shot at Michigan and Washington, also Michigan and Wabash. The Chicago Fire Department, we're told, is here along with paramedics and Chicago SWAT teams, all assisting in this investigation. Now, the chaos here downtown began or erupted just before 8 p.m. Several hundred young people traveling in groups, kids seen jumping barricades into Millennium Park, also jumping on top of cars. Other reports indicated large groups trying to force their way into the Art Institute. This appears to be one of those teen takeovers that we saw last year, publicized widely on social media, attracting thousands into the downtown area as well as to Chicago area beaches. The teens are seen with their cell phones out, Bluetooth music speakers blasting, dancing while recording videos, hoping that they'll go viral. Now, I'm back out here live really just within the last 10 minutes or so ago. My photographer and I, Raphael, we heard at least 4 gunshots while we were standing at Michigan and Washington. We ran along with another TV news crew just to get to safety. Maybe 5 minutes after that, we heard even more gunshots. And so right now, Chicago police are trying to clear this area. If you can see from where I'm standing right now, gridlock traffic indeed. I mean, Chicago police here in great numbers, along with the Chicago Fire Department, paramedics. We understand that SWAT teams are here as well. A lot of folks are being rerouted to nearby public transportation just so they can get home. We also have seen police trying to escort tourists back into their hotels. Chicago police working right now to get a handle on all of this. We haven't received any updated information on if there have been any victims associated with any of this. That is the latest here in downtown Chicago. Nate Rogers, Fox 32, Chicago.
All right, guys, so you've seen that, you heard that. There's a whole lot that needs to be said about that, but I want to start off with this. The criminals voted for more criminals, right? That's basically what happened in Chicago, okay? Because, again, Lightfoot is checked out, right? She's done. She's checked out, okay? Their new mayor that's coming in, Brandon Johnson, is even softer on crime than Lori Lightfoot. Again, the guy believes in defunding the police. He believes in sending social workers to deal with situations like that. Not actual police, but social workers, okay? And you know who voted for this? The people in Chicago who live in the worst crime-ridden neighborhoods, they voted for what you just saw.
You have a city that has decided to throw in with him. Brandon Johnson, his base of support, 29 of the 50 wards he won, those are the wards where crime is the highest. So where people are suffering the most from endemic violent crime, that's who carried Brandon Johnson to victory. I don't know a better commentary on what the situation is in Chicago than that.
Well, he appealed to race hate, and that's what got him elected. He appealed to race hate as openly as any Southern Democrat in the 1950s. So that's just true.
Well,
Dan Proft, I appreciate it. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say one thing that is important, and you talk about this on your program a lot. It was a racially based election, but do you know who really put Brandon Johnson over the top? Was leftist, rich, white women.
Of course. That's the axis right there, Dan Proft. You know how it works. Unhappy private equity wives. Yeah, met them. Great to see you tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Democrats will say, well, the problem is the white man, right? And when it's not the white man, it's the corporation's fault. And when it's not the corporation's fault, it's the gun's fault. But yet they're holding the Democrat National Convention in Chicago, right? Which, again, has very strict gun laws, okay? How much you want to bet that they're going to be a ton of guns, right, at the Democrat National Convention that is going to be held by their armed security, right? How much you want to bet the Democrats going to bring a lot of guns to Chicago for the Democrat National Convention that they're deciding to hold there, okay? How much you want to bet? I bet my life savings, right? That they're going to bring a ton of guns with them, okay? But, if you listen to them, guns are the problem. What's not the problem, according to Democrats, is parenting, culture, being soft on crime, their policies. Not the problem. But yet, this is something that we routinely and continuously see in these cities that are being ran by Democrats. All of this destruction, all of this violence, they have one common thing. cities ran by Democrats, ran by woke progressives. And these people keep voting for the same thing over and over and over again. But more important than politics, the politics behind why this is happening, it's the cultural issue in regards to why this is happening. I guarantee you 90%, at the very least 90%, and I'm lowballing here, right? I'm trying to be soft, right? Because, you know, some people might accuse me of selling out or, you know, hating on black folks. But I guarantee you at least 95% of those kids were black. They were black. Didn't see a speck of whiteness, right? Didn't see it. When are black people gonna get tired of being embarrassed, right? I'm talking about law-abiding black folks. When are law-abiding black people gonna get tired of being embarrassed by these people who are raising kids to act like this? Because that's the problem here. It's the parenting. How in the world are teenagers allowed out at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night to commit acts of violence like this? When I was a teenager, I was not allowed out this late at night to do stuff like that. That's crazy. Unheard of. And people want to blame everybody else. They want to look at everybody else. Oh, it's the white man. It's, you know, corporations. It's this, is that person. Instead of looking inward and saying, no, it's us. We're not raising our children correctly, right? There's a single mother problem. There's a lack of fathers problem. Because those kids, if they had a good father in the home, they wouldn't be out like that. That wouldn't be happening. I guarantee you, most of those kids come from single mothers, no doubt. But again, when it comes time to actually address the issue, nobody wants to point the finger at where the blame lies. They want to point the finger at everybody else, and then people wonder why things are not getting better. It's not getting better because you're not actually addressing the real issue, the real problem. Again, it's amazing, man. This is why the black community is going nowhere. Because anytime somebody wants to have a conversation about it, you want to actually point out the real problem, which is, hey, it's us, right? Ain't nobody else causing us to do that except us. They want to say, well, you're a sellout. You're a Tom. You this, you that, right? You caping for the white man when, no, I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm calling it straight. Hard for me to call it the other way when I'm seeing the same pattern of behavior over and over and over again. The same pattern of behavior over and over and over again, but people want to get mad when you tell the truth about it and just call it what it is. Well, this is definitely a black community issue. This is a black culture issue. I don't see this happening among, you know, many other races of people, right? You know, I don't really see it happening. I don't. Now, again, we do see the white leftists, the white liberals commit acts of violence, but again, that's more of a political thing. Not necessarily a cultural thing, or more of a political thing. But when it comes to, again, stuff like this, again, it seems to be unique to the black community, and people don't really want to have a real conversation about it. They're afraid of being called racist because the truth is racist. When really, the lack of telling the truth and actually trying to confront the real problem and the real issues is why this keeps happening. That's actually what's causing black people to lose their lives. That's what's causing more harm and destruction to these communities is the fact that we won't stand up to the criminals. We won't stand up to the gangs. We want to be soft on the criminals and the gangs because, again, locking them up is racist. But, hey, man, you know, at the end of the day, you get what you vote for. This is what you voted for, right? You voted for Lightfoot, who's, again, checked out. And instead of trying to, you know, actually change stuff, maybe vote Republican, vote for somebody that's actually tough on crime. Nope, they decided to vote for a softer guy, Brandon Johnson, who, again, believes that dealing with situations like that, you need social workers, right? Not police officers, social workers. He doesn't believe in educating kids. He doesn't believe in giving them Fs, failing them, teaching them real life lessons. He believes in taxing corporations out of the city. Again, this city is in for a rude awakening, man. Chicago is going the way of San Francisco and Portland, right? I mean, it's already there in a lot of aspects. But again, I hate to see what Chicago's going to be like in the next 2 or 3 years, man. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. They're in for a rude awakening. But, hey, only can feel so bad because particularly the people that are suffering the most, they voted for it, right? They quite literally voted for it. So, hey, it is what it is, man. It's democracy, right? Democracy. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.